You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents.
To be clear, Caitlin Clark is being fouled at a record rate. Some of them are brutal fouls, and a lot of the refs are looking the other way.
Fortunately, it's creating a textbook hostile work environment for Caitlin Clark. And under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the federal government does have an ability to engage here.
The most significant WNBA season update was recently released by Caitlin Clark, and it's not good. Following months of vicious fouls, 0. She is officially out for the season due to lack of protection and constant disrespect.
But despite all that success that she's immediately had, the league has basically looked the other way as she's been targeted on a weekly basis.
Caitlin Clark entered the scene with a bang. The WNBA finally understands what true media attention looks like once she signs with the Indiana Fever. Before, you had rookies, but nothing like this. She was more than just a participant. She became the league's golden goose right away. Call it the cash cow, the face, or whatever you choose. It was Clark.
Okay, because she's brilliant, right? That's why she's wreaking havoc, because she is so good.
And the figures, they shouted it louder than the press releases. League app usage has increased by 613%. Who even looks at the WNBA app, really? No one. Until the arrival of Clark. Yes, subscriptions increased by 366%. As soon as she joined, people immediately began paying to follow the league. Sales of merchandise. That one is crazy. 601% rise. Everyone was after Caitlin's name, number, and jersey. Not to mention the damage she inflicted on the Indiana Fever. The value of their franchise tripled. Take a moment to process that. Due to a single person, the team went from being essentially invisible to one of the most valuable.
Attention about Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has had a seismic impact on the WNBA ever since she first joined. Merchandise sales.
Nevertheless, this caused the league's largest uproar. To keep her safe, you would assume the WNBA would give her a bubble wrap armor suit, stage a procession, and erect monuments. Rather, she surpasses Wilson, the 3-time MVP. The league then enters a state of silent fear. Why? Because what veterans couldn't achieve was being done by a white youngster. All of a sudden, we are discussing more than simply basketball. We're discussing personalities, politics.
Right after she was drafted and heading into her rookie year, A'ja Wilson, who is a 3-time MVP of the league, she's won the championship for the Las Vegas Aces, she came out and addressed the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting.
Remember, Clark didn't request this drama. She simply did what she was supposed to do. However, the moment her face appeared on each highlight reel, the game was finished. The backlash was severe. It wasn't nuanced. It lacked professionalism. Furthermore, it was definitely not safe. Additionally, she is presently moving away. The bombshell is that, for the season, she is not available. She has been severely abused on the court and exhausted off it, not because she is clean, not even close.
It boils her blood when people try and say that it's not about race. And so, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of commentary that's being made by players when they're on camera and they know reporters are watching.
If the drama felt personal, the statistics proved it. Let's talk about numbers once more. In the WNBA this season, Caitlin Clark was given 17% of all egregious and hard fouls. Just pause for a moment and consider how crazy that is. Almost 1/5 of all the league's worst hits are taken by one player. You know what? That figure is over twice as high as the next closest player. Twice. That isn't a contest. It's a form of targeting.
She is taking on harder fouls and at a higher rate than any of her peers. So it turns out that in her rookie season, she absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls, or hard fouls.
Neither were these love taps. We're referring to hits that might occur in a rugby battle rather than a basketball game, such as airborne collisions and blindside shoulder checks. Additionally, the officials reportedly chose to switch to spectator mode as Clark was getting clobbered in every other game. She was fouled 3 or 4 times on a single possession and nothing, according to viral videos. Referees and crickets are just staring as if they have forgotten their job description.
More than double the rate of any of her peers. This is not something that you would see occur to any other top star in any other league. And I think a lot of fans are scratching their heads of why the league is allowing this to continue.
The best aspect is that no player received a suspension as a result. Not one. It doesn't matter how loudly the audience gasped, how obvious the foul was, or how many slow-motion replays went viral. Nothing. The league simply gave a shrug. Tell me how that makes sense, please. It was even stated bluntly by one analyst. An injury that would end her career is just one flagrant away. And you know what? Finally, it did. She is currently out for the season.
There's a lot of jealousy and animosity, and that can be understood, right? If you've been a VP of the league in the past, yet you were unable to achieve the...
This is where things get hot, though, because there is more to this situation than just fouls. It goes beyond simple basketball grit. It went much deeper. When A.A. Wilson stated it, she didn't mince words. Race is a major factor. I get really upset when people claim it's not. That's a 3-time MVP using the live microphone to make a racist statement. No filtering. All of a sudden, you understand that Clark is more than simply a body catcher on the court. She is bearing the consequences of a cultural barrier that she never requested to exist.
Unable to achieve the visibility and perhaps the endorsements that Caitlin Clark has received right out of the gate, it shows that it's normal to assume that there would be some degree of resentment. However, the concern is that resentment is then leading to targeting on the court.
It's obvious that players who have been slogging it out in the game for years without any national attention, media attention, or endorsements are irritated that a white rookie came along and took center stage. And so, I understand your frustration. But we have a very different issue when it escalates into on-court retaliation.
Because Ms. Clark's civil rights are being violated as she is targeted on the court, the basketball court, and no one's protecting her. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Clark never brought up the subject of race, made any accusations, or played the victim. However, animosity set in and the foul count ensued as soon as she was named the league spokesperson. She essentially became the victim of decades of underappreciated black ability. Furthermore, even while that argument is worthwhile, it most definitely shouldn't be resolved with elbows and cheap shots.
Make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulders.
Sophie Cunningham, her own teammate, was forced to acknowledge it as well. There is no protection for the league's best player. It tells it all. Not rivals, not supporters. The league was called out by her own teammate. And it's no longer a game when you're being attacked every week and nobody is doing action. That is an impending lawsuit.